Left corner from Team Evil Geniuses, it is going to be PuMa.
And up in the top right-hand corner, we do have our Blue Zerg, and he is going by the name of IEM NesTea.
Yeah, NesTea is just looking so good in the last game. Just so incredibly good. And I just love the fact that he did the finishing blow with like 50 banelings. That is so cool.
Didn't even necessarily have to. He could have just sat back. I'll constrain you to 2 base, chill out, get up to 5 bases. No, instant death. Now, 50 banelings, go. Everything blows up. It was fantastic. I love that.
Now, in terms of PuMa making an adjustment on this game, I think he's seen that he's either going to have to hit NesTea a lot harder with his attacks.
Yeah.
Or just hit him a lot more gently. This is one of these weird things where styles actually tend to develop, where people are kind of doing these, I'll expand sort of and attack sort of here, and then it starts not being effective. So you either have to be a big attacker in this position or a big defender, a big expander. PuMa very much so seems like the big expander type, and there we go. We do see all those SCVs queued up.
Woo. So command center first on the way in just a bit. Nice. NesTea, though, has drone scouted, so he's actually going to get a hunch about this. And look at this. The SCV actually moves out to the right-hand side of his base to be able to avoid being spotted by that drone, but the drone is on the way up to see him. Oh, no, he just barely didn't see it.
Oh, wow. This is a nice little maneuver by PuMa. Now NesTea's going to be scouting everywhere.
Yeah, very much so. He's like, wait a minute, what's going on? As, hey, he wants to see if...
Oh, that is so unnerving. PuMa, what a great job PuMa did just there. Now we see the refinery going down. Now we see the barracks going down. I mean, you are going to be so confused as NesTea.
Yeah, and he didn't see the gas or anything like that, did he either?
Saw nothing at all.
Ah, that's very, very interesting. Looks like he's placing that barracks to be able to throw down a add-on on that straight away. Well, maybe after 1 or 2 Marines, but from there, just playing that macro style. I would like to see PuMa in these past 2 games has kind of shown us, despite going for the 3rd command center very quickly, it's kind of a middle-of-the-road economy play. Whereas sometimes you will have Terrans that will say, hey, I want a 3rd command center and double engineering bay very, very quickly to be able to get those upgrades started. There is some risk in it, of course. Zergs, if they want to scout that out, then they can get aggressive if they desire. But going for that, some Terrans almost swear by that right now, going up against Zergs. So, we'll see.
Yeah, you know, I honestly think that if PuMa starts to really go into some aggressive gear here, he's going to get beat down again. I mean, PuMa's much stronger at the longer term play, and I would again credit NesTea for being stronger in those positions, but I think most generally what NesTea's really most talented at is just not freaking out when you throw stuff at him. Yeah. Even in this game, he hadn't scouted anything, and what did he do? He brought 1 extra drone and then immediately went back to mining and built no Zerglings at all. In fact, if you go to the unit counting station, he's only built 2 since his pool's been down, which is, I would honestly call basically 0. You're still not really committing at all to Zerglings. You're getting just enough to be able to scout the edges of the map.
After really seeing very little, although poking up and seeing the buildings that he saw, he can probably infer that there's like a command center down, you know, from there, just assume, well, you know, I'll just chill out and be safe for now and be go cool. So.
And again, there's really only one reasonable follow-up with this Hellion play, and that is building the early 3rd command center, but PuMa, dun dun dun, getting himself an extra early 3rd, and yep, Banshee's also coming up, so it looks like PuMa's doing the exact same thing that we saw him do on Atlanta Spaceship.
Yep, and PuMa has been spotted here with the 3rd command center by NesTea. He's keeping a Zergling there to be able to prevent a landing, potentially, if he does want to do so. And with the starport on the way here, switching that out for the Banshees, you know, again, the Hellion Banshee frontal push can be very, very strong, and I like to see it. Now, I hope PuMa is able to make more happen than on Antigua Shipyard with it. I mean, he did kill quite a bit, but he could have maybe killed more. You know, there's always some openings on a big map like that, and we'll see if he's able to make it work here.
Nice answer by NesTea. Was having trouble spreading that creep tumor out, but man, PuMa is on point picking those off. Trying to make sure that he has as much containment on NesTea as possible. The more he contains the creep spread, the stronger the Hellion Banshee Crafts will be in general, and the stronger the Terran mid game will be in general. So there's PuMa looks like he's moving things around a little bit, starting to get his upgrades started on those barracks, and wow, again. Engineering base down before any basic units have been built. He's relying heavily on this Hellion Banshee play.
Awesome. I like the double engineering bay this quick. I think it's going to work a bit better than his just one engineering bay into engineering bay and then armory once one of the upgrades is halfway done is going to work. For now, NesTea just transferring those queens over to that third location to be able to deny those Hellions from pushing in. And he does have the Roach Warren, and he's actually building 4 Roaches along with the Baneling nest. How many drones does he have? Oh, okay, 55. So no crazy aggression going to be coming from him just yet on these 3 bases. Just stabilizing and keeping himself fine and dandy.
It's pretty remarkable that PuMa went for a 3 base quite quickly. 3 early command centers. And yet he is more than 10 workers behind NesTea, because that is how good NesTea is at always landing those larva injects. NesTea apparently did feel forced to build those early roaches, but I just almost always hate getting those roaches early on unless you're going to be doing some kind of attacking with them. But another interesting choice, ventral sacks popping out for NesTea. What do you make of this, Kalaris?
Wow, actually, yeah, that is pretty cool. I guess maybe some very, very aggressive Roachling, Baneling drops we'll be seeing from NesTea here, which I haven't actually seen too much against Terran recently, actually. Just, I guess, maybe exploiting some kind of immobility weakness from him. But right now, I mean, there's already the 4th command center on the way and plenty more barracks being pumped out here with those reactors. So Marines are pretty good at dicing up those overlords if they get the opportunity to, but you've still got to be really careful of those Baneling drops.
A phenomenal reaction by PuMa down at that bottom expansion. Has not lost a single mule, and still hasn't lost a single mule there. 2 Banshees at the front and just sitting, chilling, doing not much of anything. And this is interesting. Look at this. There's the Zerg missile attack upgrade from NesTea. You almost never, ever, ever see that upgrade go down.
The Pneumatide Carapace I thought was a little bit slower than it could have been, but I mean, yeah, it's going to work out well. He's going to have the potential to go for these drops very, very quickly. And as such, I mean, I don't think PuMa is expecting drop play at all. This is the last thing on PuMa's mind, I think, right now. In comparison to what NesTea could be doing off the back of the previous 2 games, this is, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is certainly going to be a surprise. I'm trying to figure out how the drop element's going to play out. He obviously has a whole bunch of roaches that can bust down the door at the front, but those Banshees are going to be pulling back, helping to deal with them pretty nicely.
I like these overlords that are already loaded up. The Pneumatized Carapace only just kicks in there, so he's going to be moving across the map very, very rapidly.
Really going to be going for that carpet bombing. We do see that there's 2 queens there. That makes sense. He can unload and immediately begin spreading creep tumors in the main of PuMa, but right now PuMa's defense is quite good.
Yeah, he's getting that siege tech up, that all-important siege tech, to be honest, depending on how well he positions those siege tanks in comparison to how the units get dropped near those siege tanks. But he needs that damage as quickly as possible here. And actually, well, this is going to be very scary. Bringing those queens along, it's going to be very, very interesting.
14 roaches now in production. PuMa has pulled back, it looks like, absolutely everything into the main base. And oh my God. Couldn't be more ready. There goes 1 Overlord, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, the Banelings are starting to unload. And now PuMa is on the retreat. NesTea has just lost an astounding amount of Banelings, but my God, it was all worth it. Look at the number of workers that were killed, 18 in 1 blast.
Yeah, but he's having the supply blocks his opponent. I liked the defensive bunkers positioned here by PuMa on the high ground. That was really a lovely addition there. But for now, NesTea, he's not done yet. He is still going to go for this with even more drops, maybe over at the 3rd location.
Yeah, right now, given the fact that everything's gone so poorly, NesTea has to take another expansion. He must. That's the only way he's going to be able to help recoup some of these losses. There's the other stem. And it looks like it's going to be another vulnerable Overlord getting taken down. And oh my God, the supply block that NesTea is going to feel. Oh man, now all the roaches unload. We see PuMa trying to deal some damage to it, having some problems because those roaches actually are quite damage dealing now that they have that plus upgrade, especially able to deal with Marines a little bit more easily. PuMa though, with this Banshee, an endless little siphon on the health of those roaches.
NesTea, realizing that this is done and dusted, proceeds to produce 21 drones at the same time. going up to 70-some drones here in just a second. But he still has to be kind of mindful of some kind of potential counterattack, especially at that 4th location. It might be a little bit vulnerable just to pure roaches here.
Well, it looks like PuMa's continuing to drop everything. NesTea hasn't even loaded units into gas at this point. And PuMa's going to continue to try to be aggressive, and this is the same thing that got him in trouble against Dark Force.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Dark Force eventually was able to really kind of overrun that situation, which is not very useful for PuMa. But I mean, he killed so many Overlords that he had to recoup those losses, and because of that, well, actually, he has a quite nice bank here. Maybe it was all lava limiting, as he doesn't have too much left over.
And now finally the medevac in the main dies, but there's a medevac at the 3rd doing gigantic damage. The Banshee is there to join into the action, and PuMa has just killed off an astounding number of those drones. What a win this could be for PuMa if he manages to take down NesTea.
Yeah, too true. Again, those bunkers, I mean, technically there was a slight element of luck where the Banelings ended up connecting during that initial drop. If they'd have connected with the Marines instantly, well then, yeah, a lot of his force would have died and he wouldn't have lost as many Overlords. But in the end, they connected with a lot of Marauders and tanks, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. But he's now 100 supply almost up on NesTea. This is really, really nice for PuMa.
And now it looks like it's going to be an orbital command also coming up for PuMa as he's taking his 4th base. NesTea can't even puke with the Overlord in the right position. I mean, PuMa is in complete and total control after that misstep attack from NesTea with the drop right at the start of the game. And PuMa has to start sieging up immediately. And there the Banelings finish. It's the perfect time. Oh, see you later, Banelings. Oh, my God, that could not have been better.
GG. Oh, my